Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Welcome back to the show. And if you've just joined us, well, you missed out on the first half where we were talking about the youth program which is going to take place, inshallah, in Palm Ridge. And that's going to be on the 2nd of September, inshallah, with a good lineup of Nasheed. The program has Nasheed, Qira'ah, Bayan or advice, and some Q&A points and session for the youngsters, inshallah ta'ala. Now we move on to a program which took place exactly 2 months ago. It was actually from the 23rd of June until the 25th. It was a whole weekend camp that took place in Orlando East at the Masjid Ansar in Orlando East. Were conducted and more so actually prepared by Moulana Nxumalo, also known as Mufti Zuide, who's with us tonight. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Jazakumullah khaira for coming through, Maulana, and actually joining us tonight. Now, are you there with us, Maulana? All right, looks like we're having some network problems there, inshallah. So that will be fixed in a few minutes, inshallah. However, just trying to go back to the point, the program where we had with Maulana Mubarak Manana, where we spoke about the Palm Ridge Youth Program, where the focal point there was to bring the youngsters back into the basics of Deen in terms of the prayer, in terms of keeping them connected to the masjid, and more so having that mentorship alliance or connection with the I can say elders, but those who are more advanced in age, who have something to give or teach to the youngsters, inshallah. And most importantly, Monan also spoke about how this program is very well into bridging the gap between the studies that the learners are doing at the schools, which are known to be the secular studies, and the studies which are what we call diniyat, that we learn in the maktab system or in most Muslim schools, which is connected. So this is just to bridge that gap, and so that we can have a good campus to direct us in this whole world full of confusion and the isms and the schisms that we're facing at the moment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept whatever efforts are put in this program, inshallah. So, Maulana, you're back with us, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallah khairah.
I mean, Alhamdulillah. I was saying that pardon me, I have flu and my voice might not be.
No, no problem. Allah
Inshallah,
subhanahu wa ta'ala
Jazakumullah
grant
for
you
giving me the
complete
chance.
shifa, inshallah.
Amin. Jazakumullah.
Barakallah. Now, Molana, we're going back to the program which took place between the 23rd and the 25th of June, which was mainly focused at the youngsters. We did a pre program that time, speaking about our target, the audience, and those people who were willing to come through, Alhamdulillah. And it was, I could say, because I was there, Alhamdulillah, for the one day, I could say it was a successful program. Again, one thing you mentioned that time was in terms of the numbers. You were saying that we don't really stress about how many people come as long as we have, two, three youngsters is enough, alhamdulillah. So, how was the outcome in terms of the numbers actually overall?
Alhamdulillah, uh, the numbers were quite good, and I didn't expect so many youngsters that can pull up for 3 days.
Subhanallah.
You know, and they spent the entire weekend with us. It was quite. We had more than 50 young boys
MashaAllah.
from from all over. So the minimum I expected was what you call this, about 10 to 20, maybe 30 maximum if we are being too positive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was I was just expecting that around that number. But Alhamdulillah, we had more than that. At some point, we had about 60 to 70 for some programs because some were coming and they were going back.
No. Subhanallah.
So, Alhamdulillah, we had a very successful program.
Subhanallah. Now that's, I mean, that's the power of positivity. You know, we had our Moulana Mansour al-Haq who used to always say, "Kun mutafailan," always be positive. Do not
Yeah,
be a person who's negative.
100%.
Allah subhanahu wa
Actually,
ta'ala.
when you said, may Allah grant you complete shifa, I thought about him immediately because he used to say, do not say Allah give you complete shifa because that means death. Complete shifa is death. This life must have sicknesses and everything. So if we say complete shifa is only in your grave.
Subhanallah. And he's actually not well himself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually make it easy for him
Amen. Amen. Amen.
because so he's not well, inshallah. And
Allah
so
grant
the,
him
the
peace.
the one point also, the one aspect we were speaking about is that you had youngsters from all over. Can you just highlight to us how far wide did this actually go? Because I actually met a few brothers there who are from Beggersdal, and that is all the way up in the western area, subhanallah. And which other areas did the youngsters actually come from?
We had, okay, from the west, it was Musakeng, Begasdal, the Renfontaine zone,
Mm,
and we had Lens and Porky, and we had the Soweto brothers around Mdeni and Lamini, Deep Kloof, and the surroundings here
mm,
in Soweto. And we had brothers, there was one brother from Azadville and few boys from Alex as well that came, and few others from the central zone, Joburg and the surrounding areas.
mm. Alhamdulillah. So in it's saying that, Monana, then we can say that the objective of the program was met. Alhamdulillah.
I would say so because uh, we just sent the poster out. We didn't do much of groundwork in terms of invitation, but
No,
the response was very good,
mm,
and that was what we were looking for,
no.
and that was the case, alhamdulillah. So the boys pitched up, and it was a beautiful thing, alhamdulillah.
Mm. Now, in terms of the program itself, what any feedback that came from the youngsters who actually took part in the program?
Pardon?
I'm saying, is there any feedback that we got from the youngsters who came to the program about the whole program altogether?
Yes, 100%. So I got feedback direct to me, and
Mm,
I got feedback from the other speakers as well who participated in the program. So
mm,
the youngsters took few numbers from the speakers, and they sent messages of appreciation and how they're longing for this kind of program, emakasi,
subhan-
and that kind of a thing. So we got tremendous response and feedback from the
mm,
boys. Alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah. Because it was also one of Qari Umar Sitwale's point in terms of that mentorship uh, program that he was mentioning that they must align themselves with any of the speakers who came, any of the ulama, the local ulama, whereby if they have any sense of worry about their iman, about their life in general, that they have someone to speak to who's like a bigger brother. Subhanallah. I think that was a very amazing point and amazing aspect to focus on because subhanallah he was showing us also the messages that he was getting from the youngsters who were really happy to take him and others as mentors. And again, Molana, we did speak about this about almost a year ago in terms of that mentorship program. What else can we put in place to make it happen, emagas inshallah?
For me personally, Moulana Yunus, is that the foundation will be these camps where we meet, we socialize, we acquaint each other, and we meet on regular basis. And then once the foundation is solid, that's where then the mentorship is going to run swiftly. And these boys are looking for that. And
No.
if you were to look into what is happening around the Makkah, because we
Mm,
accepted Islam also when we were young, and there were no
mm,
mentors, there were no people to guide us, there were no programs that were there, you know. So we needed these things. So we have to do these things so that these boys don't have to look somewhere else for solutions when we can provide them because we understand the broader dynamics of our communities as the indigenous in the townships and
mm,
wherever you find our indigenous African Muslims in South Africa.
mm. 100%. Subhanallah. Like this, it just brings a lot of points back into perspective, especially when we speak about enhancing the quality of Islam in Location, because at some point, we tend to look at it as if it is a diluted type of Islam. But no, the only thing that we need there is like that plug. At some points, it did feel like there were two different types of settings kokasi in terms of Islam. You find those who went to madrasa, came back and they learned it. Then you find there's a big gap in between them and the community. And then the people in the community also they like practicing a different type of Islam. So these programs, Alhamdulillah, they do bring that connection back and help the people who are really yearning for the deen to feed from those people who actually have the expertise, have the ilm, the knowledge, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always make it a beneficial aspect for us all. Especially now, facing all these problems that we are sitting with, as we were speaking earlier on with Mubarak, in terms of one of the issues is the isms and the schisms that people are fighting with, and we're having a lot of mental health situations. Even today, we're dealing with some situations in my school also, where the youngsters are going through a lot of problems at home. Some are going through that at home so much so they come to school and start bullying others. Now, obviously, there's no justification for bullying, but you can just see that there's a lot happening around that people are not really aware of. Now, the other aspect also, Molana, the hot question now is that is there any future program in place, inshallah, and or any programs for the young sisters also to inspire them on our deen, inshallah?
To be honest with you, Moulana Yunus, is that personally, if we had the necessary means and tools, we need to run this thing in every quarter of the year.
Mm,
You know, so for example, if you look at the June holidays,
mm,
you would understand that in South Africa you have the initiation school in that period,
right,
where young boys go to the mountains and all of those things.
right.
Now, what solutions do we have for our Muslim kids? For example, you can call a camp for the June holidays. Those that are not circumcised, you circumcise them. You let them stay for some time here, and you
Right,
initiate them in a proper Islamic way. Like what
right,
they say in Isizulu, we have a you know,
right.
kube khona insizwa, kube khona amaqembu, and those things are very important. You
No.
educate them about Islam because that's what these boys want. They have accepted Islam. They come from non-Muslim backgrounds. They don't have anywhere to go. They
Mm,
don't have anyone to speak to. They don't have anyone to guide them.
mm,
They're occupied with either school. When they come back, they are with their non-Muslim friends, and
mm.
that's it.
Subhanallah. So the
So
main
that's why
no.
if we have the means, we got to do it at least 3-4 times a year, and you know that you are protecting the next generation that will hold Islam, and they will become proper and responsible Muslims,
Mm,
and they will take Islam forward. You
inshallah.
you 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 know very well how many people were Muslims accepted Islam with us back in the days, and you
Mm,
meet them today. They are in alcohol, they're in drugs, and they're in everything.
mm.
Because half they must take the blame. Half is that there were no mentors, there were no programs, there were no things in place.
Subhanallah. Mm. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. And then in terms of the young girls now, do we have anything in place for them?
Personally, I'm working on something, inshallah. Make dua, Allah accept it, and we must run it, inshallah. At least for now, twice, maybe every half of the year, we must have one program, inshallah, and we
Inshallah.
build on that, inshallah.
Inshallah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all the efforts, Maulana. And also,
Amen. Amen.
we need to have that consistency, that rapid programs also to just keep an eye on them. Alhamdulillah, back in the days, I remember we used to have, like in Mabopani, we had Sheikh Obada, whereby when it was the holidays, major holidays, until now they're still doing it. In December, they'll take us for 40 days. And those programs, Alhamdulillah, we really benefited from them. And I see a lot of youngsters who did benefit from them, and many others actually. Alhamdulillah, we had like the two sons of our late Maulana Hamad Mudisi rahimahullah. Alhamdulillah, through that they had that that
Rahmatan wasi'a.
inspiration. They had that inspiration to go madrasa and finish the hifz, alhamdulillah. So we need those things. They inspire us and they make us see deen obviously on a different platform, and also very inspiring when we see more people like that who becoming hufad, etc. And then other youngsters also come and say, you know what, I also want to be hafid. Where do I start? How do I start, etc. So those are the things that we need in place, inshallah ta'ala. Now, Malana, just for the final closing points, inshallah, for those people in the other townships who want to have the same programs but don't know where to start, what can we tell them, inshallah?
This is the motto that I have for life. Sometimes we have beautiful ideas, and we are stuck in saying that we don't have the means and all of those things. Sometimes you have to close your eyes and say Bismillah, let it happen. We'll sort out the logistics afterwards. If it's for Allah, Allah will avail Himself for it, and it's going to happen, and things will fall into their place. And we mustn't worry about a lot of things. Sometimes you worry about this and this and that, and that hinders our progress. We just have to close your eyes and say Bismillah, Ya Allah, this is yours. Take over. Let it run. And Allah have not, turned against His word. That's far. And He's not going to turn against His word. So Alhamdulillah, just say Bismillah and Allah will make it happen, inshallah. I have seen it in my life where impossible places, impossible times. Allah said, إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون. It's done.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all the efforts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us, that whatever, I like to say, like the Maulana Mansur Haq, also going back to him, he said, when he used to explain to us, mata'ul ghurur, inna ma hayatu dunya mata'ul ghurur, that the mata' means skoroplap, that piece of filth that is used to wipe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if it means that, to wipe all the dirt, and so that inshallah we can have a better result for the future, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallah khairan, Maulana. Really appreciate your time, and we are very waiting anxiously for the next program, inshallah ta'ala.
Amin. Jazakumullah for having me. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. That brings us to the end of our show tonight. Alhamdulillah, very inspiring with the programs that one took place in Soweto about 2 months ago, and the other, inshallah, will be taking place on the 2nd of September in Palm Ridge. And this one is for the youngsters, the young boys, teenage boys from after Asr until Isha Salah. And the only main thing here is inspiration, and for them to learn the essence of deen and also how to balance their lives, inshallah ta'ala. For all those who are willing to participate in such programs, please do give us a call whenever you have the chance, privately, inshallah, or our Salam Media call also, where we can give more information. The Salam Media, we have 061 449 4691. And also have our email. Go on our website and you can send us emails and whatsoever. And also, most importantly, please do follow us on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, and we might also move up to Twitter X soon. So please be in touch and stay tuned, inshallah. Again, it is a beautiful Thursday evening. Do indulge yourself with a lot of durood upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and read your Surah Al-Kahf and Surah Al-Dukhan if you have the chance. And also, most importantly, in the morning after Fajr, Surah Yasin, inshallah ta'ala, for a good and beautiful day. Have a beautiful Jumu'ah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. So we see you again next time on Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Again, I do not move alone. I have my main man, Sadiq, our studio operator. And from us all, it's Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.